Why do some houses in America look like they came out of a fairy tale, while others resemble spaceships? Today, you're going to find out the answer. Post-medieval English style. The story of the first English colonists is a true tale of survival. In the early 1600s, these brave settlers arrived on the shores of Massachusetts, only to face a harsh wilderness and brutal winters. So how did they manage to survive? The answer lies in their homes. Steeply pitched roofs weren't just for looks. They prevented heavy snow from collapsing the house. Small windows kept the cold out and were also cost-effective since glass was expensive. And at the heart of the home, a central chimney. They tried to heat the entire house with just one fireplace. Dutch colonial style. Did you know that New York used to be called New Amsterdam? When the Dutch settled here, they brought their own architectural traditions with them. The gambrel roof was a stroke of genius. Steep on the bottom, flatter on top. The result? A surprisingly spacious attic. Thick brick walls kept the homes warm in the winter and cool in the summer. These houses were built like tanks. Spanish colonial style. From Florida to California, Spanish colonists faced a totally different challenge: scorching heat. And their solutions are still in use today. Thick adobe walls acted like natural air conditioning. They didn't absorb daytime heat and stayed cool at night. Small windows limited direct sunlight. And those red clay tile roofs, they weren't just beautiful, they were practical too, reflecting the heat away. French colonial style. The French in Louisiana faced a very different challenge. Water was everywhere, and their solutions were nothing short of ingenious. They built their homes raised on piers, so floods couldn't damage the living space. Wide porches weren't just charming, they helped fight off heat and humidity. And those tall French doors, they allowed for better airflow throughout the house. Georgian style. During the reign of King George, the American colonies began to prosper. Wealthy colonists weren't just focused on survival anymore, they wanted to show off. Georgian homes were all about symmetry. Everything was perfectly balanced. A centered front door, evenly spaced windows, and thoughtfully placed decorative details. These homes practically shouted, "I'm rich and I have great taste." Federal style. After gaining independence, America began searching for its own identity. The federal style emerged as a more refined, delicate version of Georgian architecture. Fanlight windows above the doors, slender columns and decorative elements inspired by Roman and Greek design. These homes reflected America's cultural ambitions. You can still see these masterpieces today in cities like Boston. Greek Revival America's admiration for democracy found its way into architecture. Greek Revival homes looked like ancient Greek temples with tall white columns, triangular pediments, and perfect symmetry. The style wasn't just used for homes, it also shaped many government buildings. In fact, many plantation houses in the South were built in this iconic style. Gothic Revival. Tired of classical styles, Americans turned to the Middle Ages for inspiration. Gothic Revival homes looked like they belonged in a fairy tale, with steep roofs, pointed arches, and ornate wooden trim. This style became especially popular in the Northeast. Romantic and dramatic, these homes brought a touch of fantasy to everyday life. Italianate. Inspired by the countryside villas of Italy, the Italianate style became one of the most popular architectural trends of the 19th century. Tall, narrow windows, decorative cornices, and sometimes even small rooftop towers gave these homes their distinctive charm. Growing cities like Cincinnati and Chicago embraced the style. It symbolized urban sophistication. Second Empire. This French-inspired style was known for its distinctive mansard roof, which created extra living space in the attic. It became especially popular in cities like New York and New Orleans. With ironwork, details, and dormer windows, these homes brought a touch of Parisian elegance to American streets. Stick style. A transitional style of the Victorian era, stick style made the home's wooden frame part of the exterior design. Vertical, horizontal, and diagonal boards were added to the outer walls purely for decoration. It was a bold step toward the more elaborate styles that would come later, a true preview of the ornate architecture to come. Shingle style. Popular along coastal areas, the shingle style covered entire homes in continuous wooden shingles, softening corners and seams for a smooth, organic look. These large, asymmetrical homes often featured open floor plans and wide porches, perfectly capturing the relaxed vibe of seaside living. Queen Anne, Victorian grandeur, the most extravagant style of the Victorian era. In Queen Anne architecture, asymmetry was the rule. The more irregular, the more beautiful. Towers, turrets, wraparound porches, vibrant paint colours, every detail was richly decorated, with no surface left plain. San Francisco's famous painted ladies are some of the most iconic examples of this style. Richardsonian Romanesque. Developed by architect Henry Hobson Richardson, this style was inspired by ancient Roman architecture. Thick stone walls, rounded arches, and rough masonry gave buildings a bold, rugged appearance. Though often used for public buildings, some wealthy homeowners also embraced the style. It projected strength and permanence. Mission Revival. This style was born from a nostalgic admiration for California's Spanish missions. Stucco walls, red clay tile roofs, and archways inspired by mission architecture defined the look. Curved parapets, bell towers, and courtyard-centered floor plans were all key features. It wasn't just charming, it was perfectly suited for hot, dry climates. Tudor Revival. A romantic nod to medieval England. Tudor Revival homes featured steeply pitched roofs, large chimneys, and signature half-timbered exteriors, with brick or stone on the lower level and stucco with wood on the upper. Leaded glass windows, exposed wooden beams, and ornate fireplaces added to the fairy tale charm of the style. Colonial Revival. As America celebrated its 100th birthday, a wave of nostalgia swept the nation. Architects began reviving original colonial styles with a modern twist. Inspired by Georgian and federal designs, colonial revival homes blended classic symmetry and details with updated comfort and convenience. It's a timeless style still popular to this day. Neoclassical. America's admiration for ancient Greece and Rome lived on through neoclassical architecture. Grand columns, triangular pediments, and perfectly symmetrical designs defined the style. It was especially popular in public buildings and the homes of the wealthy, projecting power, prestige, and timeless elegance. Craftsman, arts and crafts. A response to the Industrial Revolution, this style embraced hand craftsmanship, natural materials and simplicity. Low-pitched roofs, wide overhangs, tapered porch columns and exposed rafters were all signature features. Bungalow-style homes became wildly popular across America. Inside, built-in furniture and cozy inglenook fireplaces added warmth and charm to every space. Prairie style. The genius of Frank Lloyd Wright, one of the most original styles in American architecture, defined by strong horizontal lines, low-pitched roofs, and open floor plans. Prairie-style homes were designed to harmonize with nature. Long rows of casement windows, sheltered porches, and minimal ornamentation emphasized simplicity and the natural beauty of the materials. Mediterranean Revival. A rich blend of Spanish, Italian, and Moorish influences, Mediterranean Revival architecture brought Old World charm to American shores. Red clay tile roofs, arched openings, and ornate wrought iron details defined the style. Courtyards and verandas blurred the line between indoors and out, while pastel stucco facades added warmth and elegance. It became a symbol of luxury living in places like Miami and Beverly Hills. Art Deco. The signature style of the Roaring Twenties, Art Deco embraced bold geometry, stylized ornamentation, and modern materials like chrome and glass block. While it's best known for skyscrapers, the style also made its way into residential design. In Miami Beach, you'll find stunning examples with rounded corners, daring color schemes, and zigzag or sunburst patterns that scream glamour and optimism. International style, a revolutionary shift brought by European modernists, all about functional purity, flat roofs, open floor plans, smooth white surfaces, and absolutely no ornamentation. Large expanses of glass and an emphasis on clean, rectangular forms defined the look. It was one of the most radical transformations in architectural history, a bold break from traditional decoration in favour of sleek minimalism. Streamline Moderne, a softer, sleeker evolution of Art Deco, inspired by ocean liners and industrial design. Instead of sharp angles, it favoured smooth curves, ribbon windows, rounded corners, and horizontal lines that suggested speed and motion. Emerging during the Great Depression, it offered a sense of hope and optimism, pointing toward a streamlined, technological future. Ranch style. Born out of the post-World War II suburban boom, ranch-style homes became the symbol of mid-century American living. Single-story, with long, low profiles, they featured open interiors, attached garages, large picture windows, and sliding glass doors. Perfectly suited to car-centered lifestyles, ranch homes reflected the wide-open spirit of the American West. Mid-century modern, defined by minimal ornamentation and innovative materials. This style was shaped by architects like Richard Neutra. Steel frames, expansive glass walls, and open concept interiors blurred the line between home and nature. Flat or gently sloped roofs, clean lines, and functional design reflected the post-war optimism of a new era. Brutalist, characterized by raw concrete and monumental forms. Brutalism made a bold architectural statement. Though more common in institutional buildings, it was also used in some residential projects with fortress-like solidity and minimal decoration. The focus was on letting the materials and structure speak for themselves. Controversial, yet fearless. Brutalism challenged traditional ideas of beauty in architecture. Postmodern, a bold reaction against the strict functionalism of modernism. Postmodern architecture brought history and humour back into design. Classical columns, arches, decorative details reappeared, but in unexpected forms. Exaggerated proportions or playful twists, bright colours and whimsical shapes gave buildings personality, blending nostalgia with a futuristic flair. It was expressive, ironic, and never afraid to break the rules. McMansions. As the suburbs kept expanding, oversized homes surged in popularity. Blending colonial, Tudor, and Mediterranean influences, these houses often featured multiple gabled roofs, double-height foyers, and sprawling floor plans. Critics called them an eclectic mess, but buyers loved the space and the status they represented. It was less about architectural purity and more about making a bold statement: bigger is better. Modern farmhouse, the darling of the Instagram era. Modern farmhouse blends rustic charm with clean contemporary style. Think barn-inspired features, white board and batten siding, black framed windows and sleek metal roofs, all paired with minimalist finishes. Reclaimed wood accents, farmhouse sinks, open concept layouts and statement lighting create a cozy yet stylish vibe. Thanks to home makeover shows, this look exploded in popularity across America. Every style reflects the dreams, needs, and values of the people who lived in that era. So, which one do you think is the most beautiful? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.